Wild Arms seems like a standard SNES-style JRPG. It's on the PS1, but it does feel like a SNES JRPG, just with higher resolution, 2D sprites, and 3D battles. Yeah, these character models are very early PS1 style, very low poly, but I kind of love them, so I'm not going to complain about those. But overall, it didn't seem like Wild Arms was adding a lot, until I played it for a little bit longer and I realised it's actually doing a lot of very cool, unique things. So number one, probably my favourite thing in Wild Arms is how the three characters have distinct abilities and distinct ways of upgrading those abilities. Cecilia has magic, Jack has sword skills, and Rudy Rough Knight, very cool name, has got big guns. That doesn't sound like anything too exciting yet, but when you come to upgrade each of these abilities, you also do that in a different way for each character. And each of those upgrade systems involves making some choices. For example, which of Cecilia's spells do you pick from a wide selection? And which component of Rudy's guns do you upgrade? The clip size, the power, or the accuracy? At the end of the game, you'll have a Cecilia, a Jack, and a Rudy whose most powerful attacks and techniques will be based on the choices that you made. What's even better is that each of these upgrade systems has an element of exploration. It plays into the level design. For Jack's sword skills, you need to find statues that initiate combat challenges to get hints for new sword skills. For Rudy, you need to find special chests which contain those big guns. It's not complex stuff. Wild Arms isn't a complex game. This is only 3 characters and one unique menu of abilities for each, but it's a very smooth and polished system that ties together the level design, the battles, and the characters in a very elegant way, and that's something that a lot of JRPGs frankly struggle with. The second thing I really like about Wild Arms is also to do with the level design and the exploration, and that is the tools that each of the characters have. The convenient way to describe the tools is that they are like the items in Zelda. You acquire them throughout the game and you use them to overcome obstacles or solve puzzles in dungeons. You'll even find bombs and a hookshot, both Zelda staples. The bombs let you blow up walls that have cracks, sometimes you find hidden stashes of chests behind those walls. It's that sort of thing. It adds so much to the variety of dungeons, adds to the fun of exploring them, it breaks up the monotony you sometimes get with these long levels. This sort of varied, well-paced level design is another thing that a lot of JRPGs don't get right, but Wild Arms nails it. It's also this bit that really reminds me of Golden Sun. In Golden Sun you had Synergy, which was magic that you could use outside of battles to solve puzzles. That balance between puzzles and battles is very similar in Wild Arms. Golden Sun, funnily enough, also has that combination of 2D levels and 3D battles, or pseudo 3D battles. There are a lot of Golden Sun fans out there who are really disappointed that Camelot hasn't continued that series. But if you're looking for an alternative, I think Wild Arms is it. There are, I think, 5 Wild Arms games, and also a spiritual successor that's been kickstarted called Armed Fantasia. It seems like they really fill that same niche of polished, puzzly, bright JRPGs with close-knit parties. Speaking of parties, all of the Wild Arms characters, and the side characters too, they're all extremely likeable. They've got motivations, they've got arcs, and the backstory and the lore is pretty fleshed out too. This is another way that Wild Arms is like Golden Sun. Overall, they're both series that look very traditional, but in their own way, they're both subtly ambitious. So if you want more SNES-style RPG goodness, or you want more puzzly Golden Sun vibes, or even if you want to see what Zelda might look like as a JRPG, Wild Arms ticks all of those boxes. Okay, here's a question though, how does Wild Arms stack up against other PS1 JRPGs? Because that's an extremely competitive field. And Wild Arms was an early release, it came out before any Final Fantasies were released for the PS1. I definitely feel like I can point to other JRPGs on the PS1 that had more brilliant stories and more brilliant battle systems. But Wild Arms, with its original ideas and its excellent pacing and its polish, delivered a really consistent level of fun for me that even some of the classics in this genre don't always manage to achieve. For that reason, I think Wild Arms is top tier, or at least almost top tier, and I'm really looking forward to playing the next one.